Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Jay. I'm in the truck right now for the first time in a while. It was down for a good 2-3 weeks. It was overheating like really bad, like I couldn't even drive it. I have originally thought it was a head gasket because I was getting a little bit of smoke out of the tailpipe, but after further like looking into it and trying to diagnose it, it was just a stuck thermostat. Actually, it was the OEM thermostat. It still says Nissan on it. This is original. It was all seized up and it wasn't cycling the coolant. So the coolant was coming out of the radiator into the motor, getting hot but not coming back to the radiator to cool. So it was heating up the truck like really, really fast. It got so hot to the point the truck wouldn't even start. It was like limp. But anywho, I'm just going for a ride right now. Feel like driving it. So while on a drive, I can kind of fill you guys in on the plans for the truck now that it's running again. I still, however, have a coolant leak. What happened was the thermostat gave out and it built up so much pressure it blew a hose. There's like a little small hose behind the intake manifold on the VG, and it blew that hose and it was spraying coolant on top of my transmission. The transmission's hot, you know that, so it was heating up the coolant and burning it, and it was starting to smoke. And on my way back from my job picking up my check one day, it blew the hose off, sprayed coolant everywhere. I broke down in the parking lot like 1,000 feet away from my job. And while I was there, I figured that if I can get to this hose and replace the hose, then it'll be all fine. Replaced the hose like 2 days later, but it still wouldn't start. I mean, well, it started, but it kept overheating. I don't know if you can hear that, like scraping sound. I need new brakes or a rotor or something. It's just scraping. It sounds really bad. But after I fixed the hose, it's still overheated. And what happened after that? After it overheated and I got it home, it just had some weird signs going on. Like it wasn't starting. Then when it did start, it would bog when I hit the throttle. It was really weird. So that's why I thought it was a head gasket, because there's just a lot of weird symptoms. I had like a black plume of smoke come out when I was at a red light, and then white smoke came out. And it was just really weird. I didn't know how to explain it, and my temp gauge was acting really weird too. It would just spike, you know? It wouldn't gradually get hot, it would just spike. So I thought it was a head gasket or something. I had one of my hard body friends come over named Tim. Tim came over and he was like, yeah man, it just seems like it's a thermostat. Start with something small, these engines are really strong, you know? Start with the small shit first and work your way to the big stuff. Usually it's not as big as you think it is. And he was right. I changed out the thermostat. It took me longer than expected because I had one bolt. The thermostat housing is a little triangle. It has 3 bolts on it, and the bolt closest to the head was in a really tight spot, and my ratchet was a little too big. So I had a lot of trouble getting that one bolt, and then after that it was a breeze. I got it done like in an hour and a half. And continuing from there, I have a different hose right next to that first hose that blew that's leaking. Most likely I got a tear in it from that built up pressure in the cooling system. Ow. That built up pressure probably messed up that hose. I got a replacement one right here. It's a 5/16 diameter, it's OEM size. I'm gonna get that put on. I got it slightly longer so that it'll be easier to access if anything goes wrong with it again. But for now it should be fine. Like it doesn't even leak like really bad. It's like a really slow, gradual leak. But you'll start smelling it like after after it gets to max temp, like running temperature, then it'll start to leak, and then you'll smell the coolant burning off the trans. But next things going on with the truck, I need all new front suspension parts. So tie rods, upper and lower control arm bushings. I need a pitman arm. I need a new pitman arm. I have a really bad leak coming from my pitman arm, and that's with old age, man. This truck is 21 years old. It's been in my family since it was new, and I have 290,000 miles on it. When I got the truck myself, I had 260,000. So with me putting all those miles on the truck within just a year and a half of having it, you know, it really puts a stress on it. And also I did lower the truck. So, you know, messing with your steering geometry, it's, of course you're going to mess up something. Especially if it's not factory or anything like that. Yeah, so after I get all that steering geometry fixed up front, well, not geometry, but after I get all the new steering parts up front, then I will take the bump stops out the front, and I will remove the middle leaf in the rear, and then I will be done with the suspension. I won't have to touch it anymore. I'll be satisfied with it. What else? I have yet to put the new steering wheel on, the hub, and the quick release. I need a new shift knob. Have yet to do that. There's a local garage around here that I want to have them start fabricating like some custom things, like aluminum door cards, intake piping, and just a bunch of other miscellaneous things. Oh, this is a big bump. And then after all that, I'll pretty much be done messing with the truck until the big things come, like motor swap or the the motor swap or the 240 front and rear subframe conversion or whatever. So that's just a little update. I know it's kind of shitty looking at me through my phone, guys, but it's all I have to work with for now. Sorry about that, but it'll get better, don't worry. I'll start bringing better content as, you know, time progresses. I'm on the way back home now. Grab something to eat, and I'll be done with driving the truck for today. Just go home and chill, probably play some video games. Try to figure out what I'm going to do about my camera situation, because I need a new one. With that being said, thanks for watching this video, guys. Comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Give me some feedback. Any suggestions you have on anything. If you have questions about how I fixed the thermostat, if you have a VG30 in your truck or in your car or whatever, and you want to know how to change the thermostat out, it's pretty simple, but if you want to know, I can give you some insight on it. And that's all for this video today, guys. Thanks.